All right, SA Weird Energy, your reaction.
That's some BS. I'm going to call it, like I said, this is some straight BS. I'm not saying everything that he said was BS because I understand there's an enormous amount of pressure that gets elevated, fellas, when it comes to being the face of the league. I understand that, but I don't appreciate what he said. I really, really don't. And listen, let's understand what the backdrop of all of this is. This is fresh off of All-Star Weekend, an All-Star Weekend that LeBron James elected to show up for and not participate in. Don't get me started with his 22 years in the league and how he ruined the slam dunk contest because he's the star. He's the first superstar that played above the rim that decided not to participate in the slam dunk contest. Don't get me started with him showing up at All-Star Weekend on a Sunday afternoon, notifying the NBA an hour beforehand that he wasn't going to play, so they didn't have time to sit up there and get a replacement for him, and then he showed up out there with street clothes on. Don't get me started with all of that. There's an abundance of things that have been going on throughout the career of LeBron James in this league or whatever. I'd like to remind LeBron James, first of all, there's a whole bunch of people that cover the league. They're former players. Oh, yeah, they're former players. They're not just reporters. They're former players, former big-time players, former Hall of Fame players. They talk about the league, too, and it's reminiscent of what I said about Kevin Durant when I talked about, can anybody talk about y'all? Is everything negative? I want to say this, too. There's a narrative that goes around these days, and Wendy, this is out of your lane right here. This is out of your lane right here. Where if you're a brother and you're talking about brothers, oh, you just hating on brothers. You know, it's like black on black crime. Well, if a brother busts your ass, and you happen to be a brother that got your ass busted, then how is it that you're praising the brother that gave it to you, and you're highlighting the brother that got it given to him? That's what you're doing. But people don't bring this kind of stuff up. There's so much stuff that you can point to when you look at LeBron James. You can talk to the decision, okay? Self-aggrandizement at its height. What happened there? He has a 75-minute show, The Decision, to announce and surprise the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers that I'm leaving you. He had to find out on national television with the rest of America. What did I say after that, Wendy? If you remember, Gilbert, what did I say after that? I talked about how you handle stuff matters because the owners are going to come. What did they do? They came with a collective bargaining negotiation. They stripped basketball-related income by 7%, costing the league about $2 billion, okay? They pointed that stuff out. You had a Chris Paul trade that was going to Los Angeles for the Lakers. Dan Gilbert is the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers and rallied the owners to go against the trade, so Commissioner David Stern could nix it. Why? Because he was salty about how LeBron James handled it and how stars were getting out of control. What are we seeing over the last several years? No matter what, we sit up there and it doesn't matter. We can sit up there and say something smells like perfume. They'll accuse us of saying it's passing gas. No matter what we say about these players, there's always something for